We all know conflict is inevitable, both at work and home. And it's never your fault. You're perfect, right? No, but seriously. By handling conflicts gracefully, we can get through these moments unscathed in the worst case. In the best case scenario, we can foster mutual understanding and build trust, strengthening relationships. Alternatively, and far too often, we are too busy being defensive and trying to win an argument, potentially causing ourselves further and more significant issues that will need to be solved down the line. I'm Mozella Perry Ademiluyi. Welcome to this week's edition of your Mountain Newsletter, redefining how to have it all. Today we're talking about conflict and how to handle it constructively. George Bernard Shaw said, the greatest problem in communication is the illusion that it has been accomplished. The greatest problem in communication is assuming that it has been accomplished. And that is where many of our conflicts and the stress that goes with it stem from. I'm not assigning blame here, quite the opposite. However, there is often a failure to communicate effectively, and both parties walk away unaware of the existing disconnect in thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. So what I'm trying to do here today is open up the conversation and move it away from blame and recrimination to a place where we can look at it without emotion and ask, what happened? A quick Google search described a range of top communications challenges in conflict, and after a read, I condensed them into this short list, taking some liberties and poetic license, of course. So number one, like Shaw said, we think we're communicating and we're not. What we think we are saying is not what they are hearing. Number two, on the other hand, we are not truly listening, and therefore we miss the thoughts, feelings, and perspectives of the person in front of us. Number three, our nonverbal communication does not match what we are saying, leaving the person we are speaking with confused and unsure. We make assumptions, this is number four, we make assumptions about the situation or person that are not being acknowledged, addressed, and communicated. I mean, of course, it's not a comprehensive list, and you and I can both add to it, but it's a good starting point. Whatever the situation, there is a pathway that has led us to where we are. Whether we, as people communicating with each other, are being clear, coherent, and connecting, or disjointed, disharmonious, and disconnected. And while it does take two to tango, there is only one over which you have control. Now, and you know who that is, right? A little while ago, one of my writing coaches, her name is Betsy, made a comment that really connected. She talked about becoming the conversation. I love that, becoming the conversation. For me, that suggests being fully immersed, engaged, and attentive to the conversation that I am having, rather than the point I am trying to make. It means full focus on the meaning of what's being said and the choice of words best suited towards creating understanding. And it got me thinking, what if both the speaker and the listener could focus on becoming the conversation? Beyond the information being shared, becoming the conversation invites the speaker to think and feel the words being used in a way that creates emotional responses, that encourages understanding, and that inspires the reader or the listener toward a desired action. Becoming the conversation for the listener invites openness, curiosity, and a willingness to not only hear, but to understand through the heart's intelligence. All too often we are scared. We don't want to offend or be thought of badly. We don't want to let others down. And we don't want to be misunderstood. We are desperate to do it right, to communicate clearly, completely, and compassionately. But it's not always easy. And when things don't go as desired, the disappointment is not always easy to manage. Where is the balance between sharing what you believe to be true and holding back for the fear of offending someone else? Author Michael Brown claims that waking others up just because we can see that they are asleep is foolish, an act of interference and arrogance. Ouch. He says, sleep is not a mistake, it has a purpose. And I'm quoting him. A seed sleeps until it sprouts. It sprouts not only because it is ready for life, but because life all around it is also ready to intimately support its awakening. So he shares that as teachers impart their lessons when we are ready, they also step away so that we can make our own choices. So, in a difference of opinion, even if you are right, you must also ask yourself about the right way of going about communicating or not. Another way of thinking about it, this is an idea promoted by Craig Ferguson. He said, you must always ask yourself 3 things before you say anything. Oh, can you imagine 3 things? Okay, number 1, should it be said? That's a great question. Should I even say it? Second, should it be said by me? Or let somebody else get into trouble, right? And then thirdly, should it be said right now? So should it be said? Should it be said by me? Should it be said right now? As much as there is much to think about, you don't have to be scared. We're all in the same boat. And besides, conflict has a bad rap. But I'd like to rebrand it. Common beliefs paints it as the enemy. The idea that if we disagree, there must be something wrong with one of us. And then social media further expands the bubble created by a growing population, increasing specialization, and the worship of differentiation and individuality. Furthermore, ideas like relationships should be easy further generate the mass delusion. Their working together takes us further away from our ability to have and work through difficult conversations because we don't have to. So why would we? But really, there are some practical ways to harness conflict and use it for the betterment of everyone involved. It should not be avoided, meaning conflict. It should not be avoided, but embraced lovingly and made a friend rather than an enemy. Why? Because the strength of your network lies in its difference and diversity. Imagine a tapestry. Each thread adds depth and dimension. So seek out different viewpoints, be it through cultural, professional, or ideological lenses. Doing so enriches your understanding and fosters innovation. A diverse network doesn't just happen. It involves actively reaching out and engaging with individuals outside your usual circles. You know that. I know that. But when conflicts arise, approach them with a tact to strengthen these connections. Transparency and a calm demeanor can turn disagreements into opportunities for growth. We have to remember things like this. Just hold a second and just think about it. Step back. So initially, let's focus on listening. Understand the perspective of those around you. Create bridges instead of barriers. This respect builds trust, the cornerstone of any formidable team, whether it's personal or professional. Challenge yourself to handle conflicts constructively as you can, turning obstacles into opportunities and weaving them into the fabric of your network. As you engage with each person, let the power of their presence propel you toward new and exciting horizons. By encouraging open communication, you foster an atmosphere where ideas can be shared fearlessly. Constructive feedback during conflict can transform a challenging moment into a springboard for creativity. So encourage dialogue, embrace criticism, and watch innovation bloom as a result. So I'd like to leave you with one last thought. Maya Angelou's famous quote, "At the end of the day, people won't remember what you said or did. They will remember how you made them feel." For our upgraded members, the next video is going to walk you through how to become the conversation. I will introduce some ways for you to stay calm, stay open, and stay on track, while also being able to engage with different realities and difficult discussions. See you then.